I think the problem we're facing at the moment is that his legacy, which is huge at the moment, healthcare reform, which is a century in the making, massive change and improvement to the American healthcare system. 22 million more Americans are now covered and protected, is likely to carry on in some form. But the legacy is very much in doubt. Everything that came before will depend on what comes next. So I think we're all on tenterhooks at the moment to see what's going to come. But right now, Obama's legacy looks deep. It's a question of how long-lasting it will be.
Yeah. There he is in Chicago, which is the centre of American gun violence. They've had a 57% spike in gun violence and deaths in the last year alone in Chicago. Some weekends, 100 people are shot in Chicago. There's Obama in his last speech. 256,000 people have been killed by guns in America in his 8-year tenure. And he never mentioned US gun violence once.
Well,
nothing. Not a word, as if it had not happened.
Well, it's true that he didn't in that particular speech, but he sure has talked about it a lot. I mean, my goodness, the president...
Tell me one thing he's achieved in trying to stop the tide of gun violence.
I can tell you one thing he's achieved, but it's not enough. I mean, so he has issued executive orders that have made improvements at the margins, but I think he would be the first one to say that one of his profoundest disappointments in office has been his failure to enact even common sense, broadly popular, everyone agrees are sensible gun protections, gun control reforms. And I think that's something that is a very emotional thing for him. He didn't come into office feeling strongly about gun control.
Yeah, but he didn't prioritise it. And my point about...
He enormously prioritised it.
Well, he didn't, though.
After 2012,
he didn't, because actually in the State of the
Union
Union address 2 years ago, he never mentioned it either, doesn't mention it in his leaving speech. It's something he just has given up on.
He's spent a lot of
Obama's very admirable in many ways. Great talker, great figurehead for America, fantastic achievement to be the first black American president. But I've got to say, on gun violence, abject failure. Yeah,
well, I think he would be the first to agree. He was not able to achieve the things he set out to do on gun control and on gun violence. Absolutely, and it's a big problem. We need our country to change culturally. But if you're talking about the Obama presidency overall, I think he will be remembered for healthcare reform. He will be remembered for some significant, I think the main thing...
Getting America actually out of a big recession, getting Americans back to work, unemployment, the lowest it's been now in 10 years or whatever.
America recovered from the recession quicker than European countries.
Implementing gay marriage, implementing, some people think is good, bad, about cannabis laws now legal in many states in America. In many ways, in social areas, a very progressive president, and involved himself. So I think my thing about Obama, his report card is he did okay. He did all right, and that might be enough, actually, in the modern era for any president to do okay.